cards don't immediately speak to you, you can also choose the stones. I am wearing my crinkly coat just for you. The first card that I have to show you is the Kelpie. It's a creature from the Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them movie. That's the first card. The stone is an Uconite stone. It's got green and a bit of red, orangey. That's for the first pile. For the second pile, we have the Firedrake. And then, as a stone for the Firedrake, we have this orangey stone that has sparkles in it. It's called a gold stone. I hope you can see that. It's very beautiful. So that's for pile number 2, the Firedrake. Pile number 3 is this card. It's the Augurey. And the stone that comes with the Augurey is this beautiful stone, which is a banded agate. There we go. So, pile number 1, Kelpie. Pile number 2, the Firedrake. And pile number 3, the Augurey. Which will it be? I'm looking forward to seeing you at your pile of choice. Hello, fairy dust. Welcome to ASMR tarot readings. If you picked pile number 1, then the Kelpie was your card. Now, the Kelpie card is not a tarot or oracle card. It is a card that came with the Fantastic Beasts, The Crimes of Grindelwald movie. But maybe the description of the Kelpie will give you some information that might be helpful. Who knows? A Kelpie is a water creature whose camouflage helps it look like long, thick strands of green kelp. Though extremely strong, with a nasty bite, it can provide a fast underwater ride if tamed and bridled. Are you an adept underwater creature? Are you adept at handling your emotions? bite. Anyone has a nasty bite if provoked. Let's see what you need to know right now. I'm going to start with the Wild Unknown Archetypes deck. And I see one card wanting to come out. It is the Sword card. Cutting through light and dark, right in the middle, and there's a lightning bolt, an insight. Let's see. The sword, the knife, the blade, the weapon. To use the sword is to decide. The blade separates one reality from another. The choice is made and all else falls away. If you find the sword in your grasp, you can no longer hesitate. This weapon requires a clear and decisive mind and a willingness to act. An onlooker may think the sword bearer is hasty and violent, but the most compassionate and responsible gesture is one that is honest, swift, and accurate. Our first encounter with the sword is at birth, when the cord we share with the mother is cut. This moment defines our separation from her and begins our journey of becoming ourselves. We must make these cuts again and again if we are to grow. Decisions shape our life, and the sword is an infamous shaper of destiny. When light, it means cutting through to what is essential. When dark, it means hasty, backstabbing, a dull and painful blade. The Kelpie card spoke about a nasty bite. Maybe that's how it seems to others. Maybe it's just brutal honesty. It also says this card shows up in relation to boundary making, prioritization, and clarifying. They're all gestures made possible by the sword. The sword is a metaphor for the pen and the brush, the artist's fierce and graceful tools. Contemplate the Buddhist philosophy of the first and second arrow. Swing the sword once with precision and commitment. More than that will be painful for everyone involved. So it seems that so far what you need to know is that if you have the thought, the sword is about the mind thoughts. It's funny that you chose the Kelpie card, which is about underwater and emotions. Maybe you'll feel that you'll feel the need to make a cut. Maybe you'll feel the need to be brutally honest. Maybe you've had enough of something and you're finding it hard to tell someone you don't want to be their friend anymore, or that you want to stop dating someone, or anything. Let's see what else we can learn. I'm going to go to association cards. I guess that's your card. It just jumped out. Let's see what picture is on it. Books, information. And they are open, the books. Maybe you have all the information you need. Maybe it's time to close the book. Interesting. What else? Let's go to this deck. This is the Folklore Oracle from Mike Bass. What else does pile 1 need to know right now? God, thank you for your help and your guidance. We're so grateful. What does pile 1 need to know right now? You could also look up this Ukanite stone. I believe it was Jasper. I wrote it down, hang on. I dropped a note. Ukanite is pink and red jasper with green epidote. things people say about this stone online is that it's great for spiritual growth, that it can open the third eye, and it also has pink and green, so it's connected to the heart chakra. But there's so much online, maybe you can find more. We have the ash tree card. Let's see what the ash tree is all about. It's about connection. Guidance from the ash. Yggdrasil, the world tree, connects all the known worlds, and so the ash card reminds us that we are all connected, that our actions resonate outward like ripples on a pond. When these thoughts and actions are positive, we can see how they help create a better world. Ash is a sign that you need to recognize your own influence in the world, not only on those around you, but also how your actions may impact the lives of everyone, especially the people you hold dear. When you put positivity out into the world through thoughts or actions, you will often see more return to you. You need to understand how we are all connected and how one person's actions can extend outward and have a positive effect in the world. The affirmation that it says here is, I connect to others with positivity and kindness. And being honest with someone doesn't have to be done in a mean way. It's better for you, but also better for them, because now they know where they stand. And if you need to say something, but you've been hesitating and sort of moving around it, it's actually more kind to be honest and rip the band-aid off, even if it hurts a little bit. I had to tell a lovely lady that I didn't feel a friendship connection, and it felt like I was being really mean, and it was really, really hard. And I thought she would get really angry with me, but she surprised me. She said that she really appreciated it and that she thought it was really brave of me to tell her this in person. So much nowadays is done online. That's not the way, really. I had to sneeze just and I didn't want to blow your eardrum, so there is a cut right in here. But yeah, let's get a Harry Potter card to get a last bit of information and possibly some advice. Let's ask advice. And I thought we could go with the Harry Potter cards because we started with Fantastic Beasts, so we're already in the Potter universe. What is your advice, God, for pile 1? What do they need to know? We got 2 cards. Let's see. We have the Mirror of Erised, which shows your deepest desires. And then we have an owl incoming information or a gift. It's hitting the window, so this gift or information or this telling the truth that you really want to do, it might feel a bit clumsy, like you have to dive off a dive board and you've never done it, and it's kind of clumsily and scary. But it's what you want. You feel it, and you get this inspiration, and the ash. So the Kelpie card says you feel deeply, you're adapted in the water, and then lightning strike, an inspiration or an idea. I have to say this, I have to do this, and then I have to close this book. I've gotten out of it what I needed to know. I've been there, done that. I've read the book. We're all connected. We're all one. So I'm doing this for myself in more ways than one, because I'm being kind to the other person and telling them the truth, and giving myself what I want, even if I fumble a bit. It's the intention that counts. Can we get one last card, please, for the closing of reading 1? Just get a sip of this tea. When I watch tarot readings, I always find myself staring at the cup of tea on these people's desks, and inside I'm like, Why do they never drink the tea? One last card got for the road for pile number 1. Maybe the books can also mean maybe you should think about how you're gonna do it. Kind of study what you could say. There are 4 books that are open, and 4 is connected to a square, and the square is thought of as a basis. So you got all the information you need. Maybe you just need to think about how to organize it. So that the person understands. I'm actually going to look for Voldemort because I consider him to be the devil in a normal tarot deck, and it would be interesting to see where he is and what is to the left and the right of him. It might show us what is your challenge. He is next to a lit wand. On the left is a lit wand, Harry Potter and the Golden Snitch, and on the right is a moving staircase, the egg, and the resurrection stone. Let's see. wand is a bit of light at the end of the wand that can make the darkness go away. And Harry Potter, of course, he thinks his adversary, but actually he's a part of him. And moving staircases can be a diversion of your path, but even though this relationship might change, it can still lead to the same goal. Like, let's say you have to say goodbye to your partner or someone you were dating, and you thought you were going to be happy and you had plans, but even though something changes, it can still lead to the same kind of happiness. And it may even be that this change can lead to something you didn't expect, but is even better for you. Now, the egg is a card that is connected to the Kelpie. It has a clue in a game of Harry Potter, and he can only hear the siren that is singing a message inside the egg when he holds it underwater. So I think it says, "Come hear us where our voices sound. We cannot be heard above the ground. An hour long you'll have to look to discover what we took." And then you have the resurrection stone, which is actually hiding in the golden snitch that Harry Potter catches at his first game and almost swallows. So you can totally get past this. You are the Harry Potter to the Voldemort. The golden snitch is a guaranteed victory, and there is a resurrection stone inside, so maybe you'll think that this will be the end of something, but you can't see anything. I haven't created this card yet, but this is the lit wand. You only need a little bit of light to get rid of the darkness. So stay positive and go inside yourself, search your feelings. You know what to do. You will get inspiration, an idea and everything is connected. So it's kinder for your brother or sister from another mother or mister to say the truth, because that's what you would want also. And the moving staircase, things might go different than you expect. You might even fumble a bit, but you have the basis, you have all the information, and you can hear it when you go within. I am pretty sure that you'll be absolutely fine. I am gonna take one of these cards. I put this card in myself. This is the Rider-Waite Tarot deck, but there is a 13th sign and it's never included. And it's the Ophiuchus, the Wounded Healer card, or the Serpent Bearer. So if you have a wound, you have the power to heal it. Good luck. Hello. Pile number 2. If you chose the Augurey card, then this is your pile. Now, these cards are not tarot cards or oracle cards. They are from the Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them movies. I thought they would be fun to use as cards to pick your piles with, but maybe the description of the Augurey will give you something that you need to know. The Augurey is a large, owl-like bird with sharp talons, a horned beak, and an expressive face. Indeed, on its head it has long tendrils, while its lengthy tail feathers are dark green with purple and green plumes. An owl-like bird. So, maybe it can see in the dark. Let's get a card from the Wild Unknown Archetypes deck. We have the Unseen card, an eye. Normally, what is in the dark is unseen, but the Augurey can see it. You're getting extra ASMR sounds from my cat Toby, who is eating his kibble. Let's read what is said about the unseen card. The unseen, the spirit, the ancestor, the eternal. The unseen is just as it sounds. We cannot see it, yet it sees us, watching and waiting with wisdom, both kind and instructive. We feel this presence, sense it, intuit it, and then doubt its existence, though it rallies our attention time and time again. The energy of the unseen may come in many forms: a compelling dream, a sudden insight, a clear voice, a vision or message from a loved one who has passed to the other side. It is natural to fear these communications as they challenge our perception of what is real. When this card appears, your guides are near. The eternal is present. The doorway between worlds is ajar. Listen. The sounds may seem as though they come from a distant land, but they call from your innermost chambers. When light, it can mean clairvoyant guidance or whispers of wisdom. When dark, it can be dark, looming energy, unwillingness to forgive. Guidance comes in many forms. Don't expect it to be glittery or comfortable. The spirit world speaks the truth. Sometimes it soothes, and sometimes it burns. Being graced by the unseen is a gift. Treat it kindly. Allow yourself to be seen by the internal eye, the eternal eyes. Let's get an association card. The stone you had was a gold stone. You could Google it and see what kind of things come up. We have a train track leading through the hedgerow to the light. Do you feel stuck? Do you feel like you're on a one-way track? Do you feel kind of in darkness, unable to see light at the end of the tunnel? Pay attention to your dreams, to things you see on your way to work, at work. There's all kinds of synchronicities happening. I sometimes find something in the street and I look it up on the internet, like I would find a flower. Could be a real one or a fake one that someone lost while they were getting flowers, and I would look up spiritual meaning of a daisy and I would get wonderful information and it would really brighten my day. And if you just put your owl eyes on, there's lots of light to find in darkness. And you only need a tiny flame to get rid of it. So do what sparks light in you. Do what you love. Get yourself that favorite cup of coffee to start your day off awesomely. Or have a bath. Turn your phone off for a half hour. You need some space at work. Go to the bathroom. Do some breathing. Put some amazing music on. Just one song. Anything to keep you going in a happy mood. Let's go to the Folklore Oracle deck by Mike Bass and see what else we can learn. What does pile 2 need to know right now? I am going to take a sip of my tea. I watch tarot readings myself, and on the inside I am always screaming when I see someone do a tarot reading and they have a cup of tea sitting there and they never take a sip. And I'll be screaming on the inside, take a sip. There it is. Ooh, you got a dragon. How cool. But this dragon is cuddling with a lady with gorgeous long hair. And her hair and its legs are intertwined, it seems. Let's look up the dragon. The dragon is about aggression. Guidance from the dragon. Even in the most innocuous of situations, we all have our breaking point. A place in our mind where we've drawn a line that once crossed we view as a step too far. It's often where we take a defensive position, back ourselves into a corner, and prepare for conflict. Dragon reminds us that the angry creature hiding in the cave will always be viewed as a monster. Perhaps it's at your workplace, or while you are out with friends, or with your partner, that you find that you're faced with one disagreement too many. You feel challenged, that a gauntlet has been thrown down. Dragon tells you that not all differences of opinions are a challenge to who you are, and that going aggressively on the offensive is not the way to win an argument. I use my empathy to avert and diffuse conflict can be your affirmation. I use my empathy to avert and diffuse conflict. If you are in darkness and you're having trouble finding your way, and you are triggered, I can give you 2 suggestions that might help. One is count to 10. I can hear you thinking, seriously? But it's scientifically proven that your brain, you have different sections in your brain. You have a cortex which puts everything in perspective. It knows when things happened. It puts things in context. That's a good way to remember it. Cortex, context. And then you have the limbic system. Now this system is not so organized. And let's say, for instance, my mom always did this, and this and this and that. So, if someone does this, it triggers something in me. But, if you can count to 10, the feeling that this brings to the surface and would normally make you instantly react because it's a trigger, it then has time to reach the cortex, which puts it into context, and it can help you to make you think, hang on a second, this is not my mom doing this. This is another person, and that might diffuse the bomb that might have gone off if you've let the limbic system direct your movements. The other thing is, think about what are my triggers. Like, I know this is a trigger, but we usually have more than one. Do you know what your triggers are? Maybe if somebody said, "You're a liar," or it can be anything. You know what those triggers might be. And if you know your triggers, then you're one step ahead, because then you have awareness. Now, what you must also realize is that this other person has triggers and has a whole life behind him or her. And they have the same issues you do. And we all get caught up sometimes in the ego. And if somebody is triggered by you, you might not have done it knowingly. Maybe you said you're such an idiot and it was just a joke. Maybe it was a trigger and the person goes berserk and starts arguing with you. Just remember that this person has feelings and triggers, just like you. Just if you can, try to look at this person with empathy. Try to cuddle the dragon. What would happen if you pretended that this is someone who is related to you? Because in a funny way, we're all family. We all come from the same. It might give you an edge. It might, these things, knowing your triggers, counting to 10, and thinking of this person as a brother or sister from another mother or mister, might give you a change of heart on how to deal with it. Whatever it is you have to deal with. It might give you the sight into the dark, the different way of looking at something, and it might help you to find the end of the tunnel, the light at the end of the tunnel. Let's get some Harry Potter cards. Any further information, God, for pile number 2? We have Rita Skeeter. Now this lady is a journalist in Harry Potter, but she's a gossipy person, a sensationalist, a profiteer, a parasitic kind of lady, and she's not very truthful either. So it seems you might be dealing with someone like that. It can be very tough. I would consider keeping the dragon in the cave. someone under the influence of ego. Basically, it can be about winning, but unbeknownst to them, it's usually about energy. Their ego wants energy. So, one of the most combustible and biggest energies is anger. Think of it as a huge fireball, and you're gifting it to them. We're all energy. So the best you can do is try to stay neutral. It's going to piss them off even more, but if you can keep it up, their fireball will fizz out. Can we get some advice, God, on how to deal with the Rita Skeeter? We have the time turner. Time turner is used by Hermione Granger in Harry Potter to go back in time so she can have more lessons, follow more classes than the other students. But they also use it to go back in time and change something. They save Sirius and the Hippogriff, which was about to be killed. Is there something in the past you want to change? Or is there something you want to go back to? A time that was nice. You cannot change the past, but you can let it go if it was painful. You can forgive anyone that ever hurt you, and you can forgive yourself for how you dealt with things, because you didn't know any better at the time. You were doing your best. Letting go of the past and cutting the cords to those people who hurt you by forgiving them and yourself creates a new slate in the now. We are all creators. In every moment we create the future. And if you are able to free yourself from the past, instead of creating a new past in a different frame, if you know what I mean, you really create a new slate from which you can build a whole new future. And if there is something in the past past you want to go back to, a hobby you've given up on, or anything like that, go for it. Turn back time, start again, pick it up. One more card. There we go. Azkaban. Break free from prison. You can do it. Thank you for visiting me. I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you again next time. I'll give you some fairy dust. Never hurts. Bye. Hello. Pile number 3. Your card was the Firedrake. Now, this is not a tarot card or an oracle card. It's a card from the Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them movie. But I thought it would be fun to use the cards for picking your pile. But maybe there is something in there in the description that will still give you something that you need to hear. The Firedrake is a small flying lizard with long antennae that could be mistaken for a dragon, except instead of breathing fire, it emits sparks from the end of its tail that set anything flammable ablaze. Are you gonna light the world up with something you do? Are you the fire starter wherever you go, the light of the party? I think you might be. You had the banded agate. You could also look that up online to see, to see what that means. Very beautiful stone. Let's go to the Wild Unknown Archetypes deck. There it is. The card you have is the Forest. Let's see. I've started to make an index for these cards in the front of the book, but I haven't finished it yet. These Roman numerals are driving me bonkers. Let's see. three X's, a V and an I. Three X's, V and an I. The woods, the thicket, the jungle. Consider for a moment your earliest memory of the forest. It's likely it included all the mythic dynamics of this archetypal space. A little fear, a little enchantment, perhaps losing your way, perhaps discovering a secret mystical treasure. Such is the magic of the forest. It requires first that you enter it, and then that you get lost within it. You may think there is a path to lead you straight through, but soon enough you'll be on what is known as the pathless path. There are tricksters here. Dense foliage and entanglement, but equally present are the glimmers of fairy light and friends among the trees. You're on an adventure now, and there's no turning back. So embrace the dim light and the moving shadows, whether literal or imaginal. Brave the forest and get lost getting found. When light, magic abounds, childlike wonder and adventure. When dark, concealment, density and savagery. If you get out of the forest without feeling lost, you were only in a little grove of trees. The great archetypal forest requires we spend at least one night frightened for our life. The hunter, the maiden, the crone, and the shaman make regular appearances in the forest. Don't be surprised if these cards come up together. Let the narrative reveal itself. Let's get an association card. We seem to have two for pile 3. They are running. They all have numbers on them. Do you feel like you're in the rat race? Just a number. Like you're in a marathon. And then we have New York. Which is a concrete jungle filled with people, all living in boxes. Do you feel stuck? Boxed in? Do you feel like setting things ablaze? like breathing fire, burning things to the ground and starting again. Let's look at the folklore oracle by Mike Bass after a sip of tea. When I watch tarot readings from other people and they have a cup of tea on their table, and the whole reading they don't take a sip, I'm screaming on the inside, take a sip. Again, you have 2 cards. You're very lucky today, pile 3. You have the fur, and you have the will-o-wisp. And what I find amazing about this card is that it's dark, but there's tiny lights, just like the forest card was describing. Let's see what the fur is about. The fur is about hope. So, guidance from fur. It's as if it's a part of our genetic code that in times of almost insurmountable odds, we still hold on to hope. We cling to the belief that in time everything will work out for the best. Fur, standing fully clothed in a robe of green in the coldest and darkest days of winter, is a reminder that hope is never futile. In a world where nothing is assured, the fur card inspires you to continue to move forward, encouraging you to rise to the challenges before you. Fur reminds you that optimism is infectious, that one person with hope can inspire an entire community and guide them through times of hardship. An affirmation for you can be, I find hope in taking small steps forward every day. So, I think that is what the Firedrake is all about. If you feel like you're stuck in this rat race, boxed in, just like so many other people, maybe you need to some sparks fly. Because this card doesn't really look like a lot of fun. It's really dark. But that one little spark of light is hope. And you could be that for other people and yourself. These beautiful fir trees have little white birds in them. They could be doves. They are white, so pure, light. You could be a light to others, to people who are lost in the forest, feel alone and scared. Let's see what the will-o-wisp wants to tell you. The will-o-wisp is about yearning. At some point, we've all felt the gnawing anguish of yearning. Maybe it's a tinge of homesickness, the longing for lost love, or a dose of wanderlust. Will-o-wisp reminds us that although longing can be miserable and frustrating, if you take a moment to recognize the source and focus on your desire, you can realize that you can actively work toward achieving it. Yearning has a way of hiding in plain sight, emerging from the shadows of our subconscious when we least expect it. This can derail our lives, pulling us off our chosen path. Will-o-wisp tells you that when you look more closely at your dreams and desires and define them more clearly, you are more than capable of attaining them. Your affirmation could be, I am a magnet for my dreams and desires. Wonderful. Amen. Let's get some Harry Potter cards for some advice. Dear God, pile 3 might feel stuck, might feel kind of lost, and has dreams and aspirations. What can this person do? Can you give advice, please? Thank you, God. That's so funny. All you need to do is put your spectre specs on. These are glasses that Luna wore, and it gives one the ability to see ruxpirts. Those are invisible creatures that float through one's ears and causing the brain to go fuzzy. gives you the ability to see what other people can't. So, put those glasses on. Let's get one more. Any more guidance, God, for pile number 3? Thank you. That was awesome. It's just changing the way you see things. So, if your flight is delayed, you have the option to sulk, or you have the option to write that email you needed to write but didn't have time for. Or you get to watch a fun YouTube clip, get a bit of coffee, make a new friend, meet people. You could even fall in love. It's an adventure, an opportunity. And sulking is not going to help. You're still going to be delayed. So you might as well make the best of it. Put on your Spectre specs. Or your pink glasses. Let's see what else came out. We have Dobby. Now, Dobby it can be an obstruction, but it can also be a helpful friend. So, Dobby was trying to stop Harry from going to school. He was stealing his letters, and he was getting him in trouble by dropping a cake on his auntie. But he was doing it from kindness. He wanted to help Harry stay safe, because he knew bad things were being planned. So, which glasses to put on? Is he a bad guy or a good guy? One final card. There we go. Oh, I love this for you. I knew it. Liquid luck. You wondering about your dreams? About opportunities, about love? You just got liquid luck. Go for it. I do not think there is any more I could add. The outside world might be showing you something, that doesn't mean it has to be true for you. You make your own plan, life. Put on your specter specs. Take your liquid look. And be like a fur. And set the world ablaze. Pile number 3. Thank you so much for being here. I'm going to give you some fairy dust. Never hurts. And I'll see you next time.